Hello and welcome back. I know some of you have been practicing every single day, and I know some of you are here for the very first time. Either way, I'm glad you're here. I'm Emma, and this is Speak English Daily. Today, small talk. Now, small talk has a bad reputation. People say it's shallow, pointless, just talking about the weather. But here's what I know. Every friendship you've ever had started with small talk. Every job interview that went well started with small talk. Every connection you've made with a stranger started with small talk. Small talk is not shallow. It's the door to everything else. And for English learners, it's often the hardest door to open. Because small talk has no script. It's spontaneous. It moves fast. And one awkward silence, and the whole conversation collapses. Today, we fix that. This is the 30-day Real English Conversation Challenge. Every lesson, one real situation from life. Today, how to start a conversation, keep it going, give a compliment, wrap it up, and make small talk anywhere. If you're new here, read with me. Out loud, same time, same speed. That's it. Say this with me right now. That's actually really interesting. That's actually really interesting. That's actually really interesting. That one sentence said at the right moment can change the entire direction of a conversation. Let's learn exactly how. Someone just told you something. You need to respond right now. Say these three with me. I know exactly what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. Honestly, same. I feel the same way. Honestly, same. I feel the same way. That's just my take on it anyway. That's just my take on it anyway. Good. You already sound like someone worth talking to. Someone just said something, and you need to respond. Not with, oh really, or wow, with something that sounds like you were actually listening. Read with me. Oh, that's a lot to take in. Oh, that's a lot to take in. Oh, that's a lot to take in. I know exactly what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. Honestly, same. I feel the same way. Honestly, same. I feel the same way. I hadn't thought about it like that. I hadn't thought about it like that. I hadn't thought about it like that. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm not sure, to be honest. It depends, really. It depends, really. It depends, really. That's a good point. That's a good point. That's a good point. I never thought I'd say this, but I actually agree. I never thought I'd say this, but I actually agree. I never thought I'd say this, but I actually agree. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. Here's how these reactions sound in a real conversation. Read both sides with me.
I actually think working from home is harder than going to the office.
I hadn't thought about it like that, but that makes a lot of sense.
Everyone assumes it's easier, but the boundaries disappear.
I know exactly what you mean. It's hard to switch off.
Do you work from home?
Sometimes, honestly, it depends on the day.
Same. Some days it's great, other days, terrible.
Yeah, fair enough. You responded. You engaged. You sounded like you were actually there. 10 reactions, all of them real, all of them useful, every single one. Now, what do you do when you want to keep the conversation going? The conversation is going well. Someone shares something personal, and you want to know more without being nosy. These 10 phrases keep the energy alive. Read with me. So, how did that go? So, how did that go? So, how did that go? And then what happened? And then what happened? And then what happened? Wait, really? Tell me more. Wait, really? Tell me more. Wait, really? Tell me more. How long has that been going on? How long has that been going on? How long has that been going on? That sounds like a lot to deal with. That sounds like a lot to deal with. That sounds like a lot to deal with. How are you feeling about it? How are you feeling about it? How are you feeling about it? Is that something you enjoy? Is that something you enjoy? Is that something you enjoy? What made you decide to do that? What made you decide to do that? What made you decide to do that? I'd love to hear more about that. I'd love to hear more about that. I'd love to hear more about that. That's the kind of thing I want to try. That's the kind of thing I want to try. That's the kind of thing I want to try. Keeping the energy going, here's how it sounds. Read both sides with me.
I've been thinking about changing careers, actually.
Wait, really? Tell me more.
I've been in finance for 7 years. I think I want to do something more creative.
How long has that been going on, the feeling of wanting to change?
About 2 years, honestly. I keep pushing it away.
That sounds like a lot to deal with. How are you feeling about it?
Scared, but also kind of excited.
What made you decide to actually think about it seriously?
I don't know. I just woke up one day and thought, what am I doing?
I'd love to hear more about that. I think a lot of people feel exactly the same. You asked, you listened, you kept them talking. You just held a real conversation, not a question and answer session, in English. Now, they ask your opinion. What do you say? They just asked what you think, and you have a real opinion. Not, yes, I agree, or that's nice. Something real, something yours. Read with me. Personally, I think it's worth it. Personally, I think it's worth it. Personally, I think it's worth it. I'm not really into it, if I'm honest. I'm not really into it, if I'm honest. I'm not really into it, if I'm honest. It's not really my thing. It's not really my thing. It's not really my thing. I used to feel that way too. I used to feel that way too. I used to feel that way too. I've gone back and forth on it. I've gone back and forth on it. I've gone back and forth on it. It really depends on the day. It really depends on the day. It really depends on the day. I think it's one of those things you either love or hate. I think it's one of those things you either love or hate. I think it's one of those things you either love or hate. For me, it's more about the experience than the result. For me, it's more about the experience than the result. For me, it's more about the experience than the result. I might be wrong, but I think it's changing. I might be wrong, but I think it's changing. I might be wrong, but I think it's changing. That's just my take on it anyway. That's just my take on it anyway. That's just my take on it anyway. Sharing a real opinion without being too strong or too agreeable. Read both sides with me.
Do you think social media is good or bad overall?
Honestly, I've gone back and forth on it. I think it depends on how you use it.
Fair. I think it's mostly negative, though.
I used to feel that way too, but I think it's changing.
Really? How?
I think it's one of those things you either love or hate, but for me, it's more about the experience than the numbers.
Interesting take.
I might be wrong. That's just my take on it anyway.
No, I think that's actually a really good point.
You had an opinion. You shared it, honestly, without apologizing for it. You just disagreed, and the conversation got more interesting because of it. Now, you want to change the subject without making it awkward. Every conversation has a moment where you need to change direction. Something new occurs to you, or the current topic has run its course. These phrases make the switch feel smooth, not abrupt. Read with me. That reminds me of something. That reminds me of something. That reminds me of something. Speaking of which, speaking of which, speaking of which, on a completely different note, on a completely different note, on a completely different note, I meant to ask you. I meant to ask you. I meant to ask you. Before I forget. Before I forget. Before I forget. Actually, can I ask you something? Actually, can I ask you something? Actually, can I ask you something? Going back to what you said earlier, going back to what you said earlier, going back to what you said earlier. That's funny because just the other day. That's funny because just the other day. That's funny because just the other day. I don't want to change the subject, but. I don't want to change the subject, but. I don't want to change the subject, but. Anyway, enough about that. What about you? Anyway, enough about that. What about you? Anyway, enough about that. What about you? Steering a conversation. Here's how it sounds. Read both sides with me. That reminds me of something. You mentioned last time you were thinking about moving.
Oh, yes. Still thinking about it.
Speaking of which, have you looked at any places?
A few. Nothing serious yet.
On a completely different note, I meant to ask you about that trip you mentioned.
You remembered.
Of course, before I forget, when are you going?
Sometime in September, hopefully.
That's funny because just the other day I was thinking of doing something similar.
Really? Where?
I don't want to change the subject, but anyway, enough about me. What about you? Topic changed, conversation still alive. No awkward silences. You navigated a real conversation, moving between topics like a native speaker. One more thing, the phrases that hold everything together. Native speakers use these phrases constantly. They're not filler words, they're not mistakes. They're the glue that holds a conversation together, that makes you sound real, not rehearsed. Read with me. I mean, it's not perfect, but. I mean, it's not perfect, but. I mean, it's not perfect, but. At the end of the day, it is what it is. At the end of the day, it is what it is. At the end of the day, it is what it is. Don't get me wrong, I like it. Don't get me wrong, I like it. Don't get me wrong, I like it. I guess it depends on how you look at it. I guess it depends on how you look at it. I guess it depends on how you look at it. Weirdly, I kind of enjoyed it. Weirdly, I kind of enjoyed it. Weirdly, I kind of enjoyed it. It's hard to explain, but it just feels right. It's hard to explain, but it just feels right. It's hard to explain, but it just feels right. I could be wrong, but. I could be wrong, but. I could be wrong, but. Funny you should say that. Funny you should say that. Funny you should say that. That's actually a really good question. That's actually a really good question. That's actually a really good question. I'll have to think about that one. I'll have to think about that one. I'll have to think about that one.
These phrases in action woven into a real conversation. Read both sides with me.
Did you end up enjoying that film you mentioned?
Weirdly, I kind of enjoyed it. I wasn't expecting to.
What made it work for you?
It's hard to explain, but it just felt right.
Do you think it was actually good or just good for what it was?
That's actually a really good question. I'll have to think about that one.
Fair enough. Do you think you'd watch it again?
I mean, it's not perfect, but don't get me wrong, I liked it.
So, yes.
I guess it depends on how you look at it. At the end of the day, it is what it is.
I'll take that as a yes.
I could be wrong, but funny you should say that. I was just thinking the same. Natural, effortless, real. You just sounded like someone who thinks in English, not someone translating into it. Now, two full conversations. Everything from today in action.
Read every line out loud with us. Round 1. Two people who know each other a little.
So, how have you been? Actually been, not just fine.
Honestly, a bit all over the place. But good all over the place, if that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
What about you? I heard you've been busy.
Busy is one word for it. I've been thinking about changing jobs, actually.
Wait, really? Tell me more.
I've gone back and forth on it for months, but I think I'm getting closer to a decision.
What made you start thinking about it seriously?
I don't know. I just woke up one day and thought, is this actually what I want?
That's one of those questions you can't unask.
Exactly. Anyway, on a completely different note, how's the course going?
Actually, can I ask you something first? Do you think it's worth doing it full time?
Personally, I think it's worth it, but I might be wrong.
That's just your take on it anyway.
Fair enough. I'll have to think about it more.
I guess it depends on how you look at it. At the end of the day,
It is what it is.
exactly. Round 1 done. Now, meeting someone properly for the first time. Round 2. First real conversation. Just been introduced.
So, Sarah tells me you're a teacher.
She mentions that every time. Yes, secondary school. It's a lot.
I imagine. Is that something you enjoy?
Honestly, it depends on the day, but most days, yes.
What made you decide to go into teaching?
That's actually a really good question. I'm not sure I had one reason.
Fair enough. I never thought I'd say this, but I kind of envy teachers.
Really? Why?
It just feels real. What I do, I'm not sure it always does.
That's interesting. I hadn't thought about it like that.
Speaking of which, what do you do outside of work?
I've been getting into running. Weirdly, I kind of enjoy it now. Didn't expect that.
I know exactly what you mean. I went through the same thing with cycling.
Don't get me wrong, I still complain about it every time.
Fair enough. At the end of the day, it is what it is.
Funny you should say that. That's exactly what I tell myself. 2 conversations. Every technique from today used naturally in English. These 50 sentences don't teach you how to start a conversation. You already knew that. They teach you how to make someone feel heard, how to keep going when the momentum drops, how to share what you actually think, and how to move through a conversation the way someone who thinks in English does. That's the difference between knowing English and sounding like yourself in English. Today, you got a little closer to that. The next time you're standing next to a stranger, in a lift, in a queue, at a party, you'll know exactly what to say. The full 30-day Real English Conversation Challenge is pinned in the comments below. Every single day, all in one place. Go to the comments now, type small talk, done. In the next lesson, you walk into a supermarket. You need to find something, ask for help, compare prices, get through the checkout. All of that in English. See you then.